everyone. I am going to work on the Paper Issues Challenge for their October crop, their fall crop, and it's a Let's Get Social. So it's a challenge to use a picture with Snapchat or Instagram or a filter. So I've got this really cool picture with the cute little bunny ears. Maybe they're cat ears, I'm not sure. And just want to kind of show you what I'm going to do, and then I will stop and put you on fast forward. So I've had this piece of Sunny Days paper for a long time, and it's super colorful, and at first I thought I would cut out the cameras, but I really like the color of the cameras and the background, and I just saw this and I thought, oh, that'll go great. And then I had picked up a couple of pages of this beautiful photoplay paper, and I had picked it up mainly because it reminded me of my older daughter. And I've made 2 or 3 pages of it already for her. And I just like the colors of this kind of with this photo paper, particularly this green. I thought really went well with some of these cameras. So I think I'm going to use up this. I've only got 3 pages left and some stickers. And then my plan is I'm actually doing a Pinterest sketch that I found, and I will link that and I'll put it up here somewhere. I'll put it on the video, but I'm going to do that. And on the side of this Pinterest sketch, they had little hearts coming down the side. Well, I've got hearts, but I also found these cute little cameras in some wood veneer set that I had. So I thought, and the word love, I thought it'd be cool to use that as my kind of my title, and also just kind of as the embellishment. I don't necessarily want to keep them wood, so I've got my old Stampin' Up! Markers. I'm going to see how they work on the wood. They'll probably kind of go in and sit on top of it, but that'll be okay. And see if I can find some that match. The good news about these is there's 2 sides, so if I mess up on one side, I'll be able to fix it. So that's what I'm doing. I will put you guys on fast forward and come back. Bye. Hey, I'm back. So I went ahead and put the whole thing on fast forward. Normally I spend a lot of time editing these videos and kind of trying to cut things out. But this time I decided I'm just gonna put it on fast forward and narrate. I still think the video will be under 15 minutes, so that should be good enough. If you don't want to stick with me, there's a picture at the very end of how the layout turned out, and this is one of those layouts that I'm super proud of. Sometimes you know how you put a layout together and it just does exactly what you want and it's exactly how you imagined it. Well, this is that layout for me. So all weekend long in October, Paper Issues had the fall crop, and I can say that I think in 2018 when they had their fall crop, I believe, again, was when I found Paper Issues. And I just find this community to be so fun. I love the challenges. I'm an engineer by trade and by schooling, so I'm kind of type A, so a challenge really works for me. It makes me feel like I've accomplished something. So having monthly challenges and having a group where a lot of people do the challenges is really a lot of fun. So when I found Paper Issues, I've really enjoyed it. They also have a ton of free cut files, so I'm not really connected to them in any way, shape, or form other than I am someone who uses them, and I would just really recommend them. So if you're following me on here, for some reason you found this particular video, I would say check them out. They've got great challenges and they've got a lot of free cut files. So anyway, so back to the page. So what you saw me do in the beginning was color those wood pieces. So I used my Stampin' Up! Markers, and I had bought those Stampin' Up! Markers 6-7 years ago probably, and they sat in storage in Arkansas in the heat and the cold. And I will tell you that the coloring part of them still works great. The writing part, not so much. So I can't really journal with them. I can't really write with them as far as like just the pen part, but the actual coloring marker, they still work great. So I'm keeping them to do things like what I did now. I found 5 different colors that kind of match the 5 different colors in the cameras, and I was real happy with that. So what I'm doing now is kind of cutting pieces out to match the 2 bulk papers there in the sketch. So as you can tell, I have one long photo instead of 3 photos like they have in the sketch, but I think that works great. I have no idea why Snapchat makes the photos kind of 3 by 8 almost, but they do, and it happened to work great for this particular layout. I had not noticed it before until I printed this one, but it worked out. So I had this blue paper also in my Beautiful, so it's actually Beyou-tiful photoplay paper, and the blue is the same color as some of the blue cameras, and then it has that aqua and the pink in it, so I decided to use that as well. My real goal here for this weekend has been to get as many of my kits kind of used, and I've really enjoyed that. It's been kind of nice to see some of the papers that I bought a while ago and bring them back out and just use them. So right now you see me debating about, do I want to put the dark blue on the back or the aqua on the back, and how do I want to handle that? I finally end up with this, which matches the sketch. And I look at it and I start placing the cameras down. Once again, cameras totally worked. It was just kind of something that I found in my stash, and I was like, oh, you know, those hearts on the side, I don't have to be hearts, because I'd already pulled out that bag of wood hearts, intending to use that. And then this little Stay Young piece, another one where I was like, you know, the orange doesn't quite work, but it's kind of close to the yellow. So what you're seeing me here do now, or do here now, not here do now, is I felt like because of the pattern on the back of the paper, or on the background paper, these two were getting lost. So I decided to just mat them on a very small bit of white, and it makes all the difference. They pop against those cameras, all the colors work, and it just made the layout look 1,000 times better. It's small things like that that if you do them, you can just make a huge difference in your layouts. So if you're like, I was kind of debating about whether or not I could even still use this camera paper, and it was the basis for the whole layout. And just a small change of putting a white border let me still use that white, or still use that camera paper, and use all the other coordinating cardstock or pattern paper. It's not actually cardstock. So I'm finishing up by putting that white border around, and now I'm going to kind of lay everything out. I'm staying pretty true to the sketch. I haven't used a bunch of my Pinterest pages in a while. So when I had this particular layout, I was kind of, this was, to be honest, like the 4th or 5th challenge I had done, and I kind of needed some inspiration. So I went on Pinterest and I found the sketch with the long photo there, and it just worked perfectly. It's exactly what I needed. So you're seeing me put some fun foam on the back of these, the picture, and on the little accent card. I really enjoy fun foam because I like that it gives a little bit of dimension. For a while, I had a pack of fun foam that did not have adhesive on the back, so I had to put tape on both sides. I did not enjoy that as much. So just getting the fun foam that has the adhesive on side is huge. So you're seeing me peel that off, and I have everything laid out. And now I'm going to just mess with where I want to put the cameras. And you'll see right away, they are adorable. I really, really enjoy them. I just like how they turned out. It's exactly what I wanted. And then I also wanted that title there. Now on the Snapchat, it actually has the location of our kind of favorite Mexican restaurant here in town. And one of the big things is when I moved from Arkansas up to the Northeast, there's not as many good Mexican restaurants. I think it's the distance from the border. But we finally, I found one that actually has what I would say are the best cheese enchiladas ever. So my journaling is going to be about how I love their cheese enchiladas. And so it's going to say the name of the restaurant, which happens to be Cuckoo's Nest. And it's Cuckoo's Nest Love, which is exactly what I feel when we go there. So you're seeing me now kind of draw my lines to write the journaling. I do like to draw lines. I don't, and this is me doing an attempt at, hey, I wonder if that navy blue pen will work. They never do. None of those stamping markers work as pens anymore. I think it's just too long and the ink just sat there for too long, whether it's the direction of the heat or the cold or whatever. It's totally not Stampin' Up's fault. It's the way I store them. But at the end of the day, I just pulled out my trusty black pen and I just wrote my journaling. I'm going to pull a few things off that sticker sheet, the camera, and then there's a heart. Oh, this #1, because I just said they have the best cheese enchiladas, so that in my journaling, so that #1 sticker was perfect. Some stars. And then the one thing I had intended to do all along was to take that sticker strip and put it right there between the paper and the photo, which is like it has on the sketch. And I had totally forgotten until just that moment. The other thing I have totally forgotten until just that moment was that I never glued down love. So when I went to stick down that sticker, I realized, oh wait, love was not glued down. So I'm going to glue that down. And I think that's it. Let's see. Oh no, I'm going to grab my trusty enamel dots. And I have this package of enamel hearts. I have no idea where they came from. I've had them forever. They have the weirdest colors in them. And I'm just going to add those hearts. I have another set of enamel dots. I think basically I went to Michael's or Hobby Lobby and they had some sale, and so I just bought them. So that's the page. I really like it and I hope you enjoyed how it turned out. I'm really proud of this. Here's a close-up and thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Thanks. Have a great night.